Last time on Macho Motors. Very pleased so far on my $700 Honda Civic. We just scored big on a 60,000 mile Honda Civic. 60,000 miles. In almost 15 years, it hasn't ran, and we finally moved it onto this dolly. We're gonna be the first ones to be able to slam it to the ground. Is one of the dirtiest gas I've ever seen in my life. Oh Lord. And we got the dreaded check engine light. So I guess we're not gonna have a happy ending here. After the short drive, I'm sure you guys can hear it, but we still have the weird idle, which is sounding something like this. And we also have a check engine light that just popped up, which is a good thing because this should help us diagnose the issue. But I plugged in my OBD2 scanner and for some reason, it's not getting any power. Also noticed earlier that the radio isn't getting power either. The radio and the OBD2 port is connected to the same fuse. So I read online it's supposed to be this 10 amp backup fuse, which is right here, which we're missing. And we're also missing the interior light 7.5 amp fuse, which is supposed to be right here. So I don't know why so many fuses are missing on this car, but we're gonna fill these two in and hopefully we have a working radio, OBD2 port, and interior lights again. If you don't already, I have an Amazon link for this box of fuses. Comes in super handy when you're dealing with issues like these. And when you go to the parts store, fuses are like $3 to $5 for a 3-pack when this is, from what I remember, $5 to $10. Great investment if you're working on cars constantly. We got the 10 amp fuse going in and the 7.5 fuse going up top. Let's see if our radio's working. Hey, and we got a working radio again, nice. So after installing the interior light fuse, for some reason, these lights are still not working, but this one is working. We have to do a little bit more investigating to figure out what's going on with these. So let's start by popping these off. And what the heck is going on here? So obviously this one is missing a bulb, but this one, it looks like they tried to DIY some LED lights. What is this? I've never seen something like this before. If they wanted to just upgrade their lights, they could have just used lasfit LED lights. You knew it was coming, baby. You knew it was coming. Lasfit makes it ridiculously easy to upgrade your glove box light, your trunk light, your dome light, pretty much your entire interior, converting these dim yellow halogen bulbs to that bright white crystal clear LED light, and super plug and play friendly, and it'll literally take you seconds to plug in those LED lights. No more wiring, no more hassle, just bright white LEDs to upgrade your interior. I already know what they were probably thinking 10 years ago. We wish we had lasfit LEDs to just make this plug and play, because this wiring mess doesn't even work anymore. But the results speaks for themselves. We've already had these LED lights in the 370Z. If you haven't seen those videos, please check it out. But here's the results for the 2001 Honda Civic, going from the old 2000s to now the clean, modern lighting that makes the car feel like it's from the future. The best part is lasfit has made it incredibly easy to find the exact bulb for your car. Just go to lasfit.com, enter your make and model, and boom, you're done. You get the perfect fit for your car with no guesswork. And I know you guys love saving money, so right now is lasfit's 10th anniversary of producing high quality LED lights, and right now they're hooking you guys up with 20% off your entire order, whether it's exterior lights, interior lights, car mats, air pump, whatever you want, 20% your entire order using lasfit 10Y. Just one more time, I want to show you how easy it is to change out your trunk light from that old halogen bulb, no cuts, to the new lasfit LED. And once again, look at the difference that made. Thank you so much, Lasfit, for pimping my ride. We got the check engine light back for the idle air control system, which is kind of crazy because we already cleaned it, and I guess it needs a little bit more than a cleaning and maybe a replacing. I'm gonna check to make sure all the connections were good, and then if they were, then I'm probably gonna order a replacement. So now I want to tackle some of your suggestions to remove the nut storage inside of our resonator box. One of them said attach a vacuum hose to it, turn it on and shake it, and hopefully the vacuum gets most of it out. Another one said try flushing it out, so I really don't think that's gonna work, but we're gonna try it anyway. I don't think that worked. I think that just put us in a worse situation, if I'm being honest with myself. And somebody else just said to cut it open, which I definitely don't want to do, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4 holes just to allow for drainage in the airbox. And I think if I just drill one slightly larger, I think we'll be able to get most of it out. And this is what I came up with. Leaf blower, full power, because we got to dry it out anyway. All right, the brand new idle air control valve is in, and it came with a new gasket. So now we have 2 new gaskets for it, but I'm not gonna waste your time filming this all over again. I'm gonna lock in, get this all done, and we pulled her into the garage because there's a storm coming. So hopefully I can get this quick enough that we can take it for a test drive and test out the new idle air control valve. I'm crazy sweaty. It is hot out. Everything is put back together. We should know instantly if this fixed our issue or not. So starting up the car. So before on startup, the car would idle around 2,000 to 2,500 RPM. It is currently idling at 1,000 and it should drop down once it warms up. I'm going to try to clear out the codes and see if that makes it any better. So typically after a short drive, this would be bouncing from 1,000 to 2,000 RPM. Right now, it's not doing anything. I did have to clear the code for it to normalize itself, but I'm gonna call that issue fixed. Next thing we're gonna tackle is the mirror, because I'm sure with it flopping around, it's like scratching up the paint. I believe it's just this cap here. Whoops. And 1, 2, 3 bolts there and 1 connector. Easy peasy. And honestly, I think the whole thing will just fall off if we just remove this 1 connector here. I think I'm gonna just cut this. That'll be easier. And unfortunately, you can see here, that scratched up the paint a lot over the years. I don't know if buffing and shining it will fix it up, but we'll try our best. So let's get to finish removing the rest of this mirror. All right, got them all without dropping a bolt. Now this should just pop off, I believe. Like that. It's been storming for over an hour. We finally got a moment of no rain, and there is a hole here because we took out the mirror. The new mirror just showed up. So let's plop this on before we keep flooding the interior of the Honda Civic. And it looks like I ordered the right part for once. Really hope I don't drop any of the bolts, so I'm gonna try my best not to. So I was able to get all 4 bolts on, and I didn't even need to put this one on because this is for the window trim. But last thing we need to do is just plug in this connector, pop in this triangle piece, and we're all done. And here is the finished result, looking so good. What a huge upgrade, especially once we buff and shine all of this and make most of the scratch go away. I think it'll look just as good as OEM. But unfortunately, the rain is stopping us from doing anything else, so that's all we got for today.
The next day.
Next thing we're gonna tackle is the brakes on the car, because after sitting for over a decade, sure, they are rough. Luckily, this car only has front rotors and rear drum brakes, which means that we only really have to replace the front, saving us not only time, but cost as well. I can't really get a good picture of how the brakes look because of these wheels, but I'm sure they're really crusty. Let's take these wheels off and see what we're working with. Found this on the hubcap, and I think it says Ryle, so we're going to look that up later and see if the wheels are worth anything. Yeah, R-I-A-L, it says it here again. Oh my goodness, that is some crusty, crusty rotors. Can we just appreciate how terrible these tires are? Like, that is some crust on them tires. And obviously I do plan on replacing these tires, so these are pretty much junk, except for maybe the rims. Gotta figure out what a Ryle wheel is. I've never heard of that brand. It's a really crusty caliper. Got the brake pads out. Not looking crazy, crazy bad, but definitely low and old. This is always my favorite part of a brake job. And here's the old and crusty with the new and shiny. I'm gonna do a lot of cleaning of the caliper and the caliper bracket off camera. Once all of this goes back together, it's all nice and smooth and there's no restrictions to possibly hang us up on. And they gave us new hardware. So I got the caliper bracket a little bit cleaner. I re-greased all of the guide pins, which I can't do one-handed. I put in the new hardware, re-greased that, and I cleaned the rotor. So we are all ready to go back in with all the new stuff. And I cleaned off the wheel hub and I put brake grease on it because I ran out of anti-seize. Better than nothing. Oh, it looks so much better already. The brake job is done with the cleaner caliper and bracket and brand new rotors and brake pad. Last thing to do is put back on the wheel, but we obviously can't go back on with these very crappy tires onto this brand new brake setup. So I went out and bought this OEM Honda Accord wheels. And you might be thinking, what's so special about these? Absolutely nothing. But they have these beautiful, nearly brand new tires to the point where you can still see the factory markings from them on all 4 tires with a DOT stamp of 2022, meaning this is going to be a huge upgrade compared to the 14 wheels, because at the end of the day, the goal with this car is to keep it as stock as possible. And going in with stock Honda wheels versus aftermarket wheels, I think will raise the value. And also, I did the math on buying new tires for the car. It was around $220 plus installation, making it closer to $300 when I picked up all 4 wheels for $190. Then we can eventually sell these wheels and recoup almost all of our money that we spent on these wheels. The only downside to buying these is it is super dirty. I don't know if you can tell on camera. I don't want to put these on our brand new brakes without cleaning them first. So let's get to doing that. And here are the wheels all cleaned up. They honestly don't look great, but they look a lot better than they did. Let's throw these on the car and see how it looks. Hopefully they fit. Hopefully they fit.
Hopefully they fit.
I didn't think this all the way through because now I have a puddle in my workstation, but let's just throw on the wheel anyway. How is this not fitting? How is this not fitting? And of course it wouldn't be a Macho Motor video without at least one fail. These wheels came from a 94 Honda Accord. I was told they are 4x100. When I looked them up, they are 4x114, a bolt pattern that almost no car uses anymore. So pretty much I have great tires on useless wheels. And what's even worse, these are size 15 and the wheels on the car are size 14, so I can't even swap them over. My options are to buy new tires for this car or keep searching through Facebook Marketplace, buy a very simple 4x100 wheel. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just kind of sucks because I overpaid for these wheels thinking that they were 4x100. These are probably worth what the tires are worth. So maybe 100, 150. That's probably why they were on sale on Facebook for so long. And the person wanted 300 and I was able to talk them down to 190. Why? Because nobody wants 4x114. This may go into the shed until I buy a Honda Accord that needs new wheels. So after the complete fail of the last wheels that we bought, we went out and got these. Plastic, rusty, dusty, web-infested Steelies. Macho, I thought you were gonna make the car look better. And me personally, as a buyer, I would rather have some brand new tires versus nice wheels that can't even ride straight because the wheels are 15 years old. So for only $70, we got some tires with a DOT stamp of 23 that has amazing tread on it. So these tires alone would have probably costed me over $200, but now these wheels will be pretty much free once we sell these wheels for like $100, $150 when we bought these for only 70 bucks. Yes, $70 for some steel wheels with brand new tires on it. And the last wheels we bought for $190, we just sold it for $220, making us a strong profit of $30. So let's start by making the car look a little bit worse with these wheels and then take it on its first test drive after all the mechanical work we've done on it. Oh, thank goodness they fit. Now look at old girl now looking like a stock Honda Civic. You guys may call it a downgrade, but I definitely call it an upgrade with these thick tires. So you guys might have remembered before that the wheel was shaking like crazy. Now, letting go of the wheel, we got that baby straight as an arrow. So we're well under budget for the Honda Civic so far. So I thought, you know, we already did the air filter. Might as well do spark plugs and an oil change, just so that way whoever gets the car afterwards, it has a full 60,000 mile tune-up. Nice and clean injectors, meaning that our valve cover gasket is good from the spark plug seals. And we're going in with some NGK G-Power spark plugs. So besides the spark plugs being a little rusty, the electrode looks to be in pretty good shape. And I'm pretty sure that driving with these for another 10,000 miles wouldn't have been an issue. But we will be upgrading them to these NGK spark plugs. Click, 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 click. About 10 minutes later, we have new spark plugs inside the Honda Civic. Next thing I want to address is an oil change, quick and easy. And just like the spark plugs, the oil filter is looking real crusty, so happy we're doing this. Beautiful. While this drains, I'm going to go ahead and replace the washer. Looking like the oil finished draining. Now it's time for the oil filter. Be kind to me. And it looks like they were using ProTech filters. Don't know much about them. And we're going back in with that genuine Japanese goodness. Lube up the ring, got the new oil filter in, and the new drain plug washer. So last thing I want to tackle in this video is the interior and how dirty it is, because I've been using a little bit of a shed, I'm not going to lie, but we are going to bring back the 60,000 mile interior that we all know and love. With starting with installing these seats correctly, which I never did. Do this little cut that they have here, a couple of love pushes. Apparently that was too much love. So I was looking through the 2012 magazine and I was just curious as to how prices were back then. And that's when I discovered this. $16.95 with this coupon, but most importantly, no expiration date. But we have to see if it actually even works. It says no expiration, so technically, you gotta take it. $16.95 for an oil change, that doesn't exist anymore. It's $16.95 for like 1 quart of oil. We gotta try this out. I think we did a phenomenal job of just bringing this interior back to life, making it look and feel like the 60,000 mile Honda Civic that we all know and love. But it's missing one thing. It looks great, but it doesn't smell great. And that's because we're obviously missing that Macho Motors air freshener. Only available at macho-motors.com, where you can pick up air fresheners, keychains when shift happens, and t-shirts. Not like the one I'm wearing, but you'll see it in the store. If you want to support the build, support the channel, and help yourself get some stylish merch, head over to macho-motors.com. And I know if some of you guys are mentioning there's no way that this car has 60,000 miles, just check out the steering wheel, the shift knob, the radio buttons, even the brake, clutch, and accelerator button, even the resting pedal. They all look to be in great condition, especially for a car that has been alive for over 20 years. So there's no doubt in my mind that this car is an official 60,000 mile vehicle. But that'll do it for today's video. In the next video of the Honda Civic, we will be finishing up the last mechanical issue wrong with the vehicle and finally detailing the exterior and have it look like a pristine Honda Civic once again. And see how much money we make, which is most important. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!